Art Thibert's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too is a 60-page, 9x12 hardbound book that will be printed on thick glossy stock paper and is a compilation of artwork from award-winning artist, Art Thibert. This book is filled with images that come from Art's Marvel, DC, Image and Comicsgate work. That includes convention doodles, commissions, creator-owned IPs and pop culture subjects that Art has brought to life with his masterful draftsmanship. Art Thibert's signature style is both lyrical and meticulously realized. The mastery of craft, seen in his work, owes itself to his 40 years in the comic industry, as well as viewing life through his own love of the art form itself. Fans of art prints have the opportunity to back one or both of the mini print tiers. Both are stunning collections of work that you can back individually, or together as a bundle. Art Thibert's Oodles of Doodles and Other Stuff Too. Back it now, on Indiegogo.
Hello, all of you fine people. How are you doing? I am coming to you live, and slightly undead from the heart of Lovecraft Country in the birthplace of American religious liberty. My name is SHANTH ENJETI. This is SHANTH ENJETI Art, and I felt like doing some sketching. It has been a while since I have done a late night stream, guys, and one of the reasons is because my schedule has been so crazy, what with my kids who are seniors in high school and just graduated recently, all of that stuff. And today, folks, the very last Nosfero books in the international section of the shipping were taken to the post office. Nosfero is fulfilled. Everything is in the mail. Tracking numbers should be coming. And I thought, man, I want to do some sketching. I want to do some drawing. And I keep looking for the right time. And I always say, there's no time like right now, so let's make this stuff happen. Let's see what we got here in the chat. I think we've got some channel members in the house, so let me see who we have. We have got channel member Jeremy Burtz. It is great to see you, brother. How are you doing? We have got some standard bearers in the house. We've got Mr. Monkey Boy 1969. We have got Simply Green, Wrenchified, and On the Loose. And let's see who else we've got. We've got my man Maromi. It is great to see you, brother. I hope you are doing well, and let me see. We have got Jordan. Jordan, how are you doing, man? It's great to see you. We've got Omni here. How are you doing, my friend? And hail to you, and of course, my friend of 30 years, my brother from another mother on the West Coast, Mr. Rocky Ballesteros. If you are not subscribed to his channel, amazing tours of local comic book shops and some comic shops overseas. He does unboxing videos. He is a huge comic book fan, much like myself. And like I said, he was a groomsman at my wedding. I've known him for 30 years now. And yeah, can't tell you the amount of impact he's had on me as an artist and more importantly as a brother. So it's great to see all of you guys here. Yeah, late night stream. Man, Nosfero is completely shipped off. Everybody's end of the high school events have wrapped up. So I finally said to myself, you know what? I have not had a break from working except to work. So I thought to myself, why not do some work? And I've been talking to Shane Davis about. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Jordan. Excellent, man. I've been talking to Shane Davis about just I love Inglorious Rex. I love kaiju. I love monsters, and I love horror. If you saw the start of the stream, one of the things I've been doing now that, I kind of do it to relax if I have an idea, but one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been thinking a lot about Comicsgate, and I've been thinking a lot about all of the stuff I started doing maybe it was like 6 years ago now. I'm not even sure, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But I've been in Comicsgate for a while, and one of the first things I started doing in terms of contributing was cutting videos for Ethan. And then just doing trailers, Comicsgate Kings. I've done this current intro for Comicsgate Kings, and then the one before that ran for a couple of years with the Ghostbusters themes, and then intros for a lot of the creators. And I think I also started cutting trailers early on for Comicsgate. And I think one of the first trailers I did was a recut of Alien Alamo to just make it shorter and snappier with some sound effects. And I started thinking about, as I've gotten to this point, I want to beef up that game a little bit more because I want to make sure that I'm playing the best quality, show for you guys that I can put on, and then I have some snappy trailers. So all of those trailers at the start of this are ones I've been editing over the last couple of weeks, and I want to try to do them for as many creators as I have an idea for. So that's been a really big aspect. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I cut the shortened Bancroft one. Yes, I did. Yeah, I've been playing Mike's trailer now since I think he released it. I told him I'm playing that until the book launch. But of course I kept playing it because, Mike's a friend and a sentimental favorite of mine. But then I cut a shorter trailer for Eric Weathers, and I thought, I really got to do one for Mike because I think the scope of the Lucent is, it crosses so many different time barriers. So I came up with the idea of the reflection in the motorcycle helmet, and the action, the snappy sort of action element to it. And I don't know, it just came together, and I've reworked it about 1,000 times, much like with Art Thibert's sketchbook trailer, which I just cut this morning. Yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm getting as many eyes on the stuff we're doing. because with all of the craziness going on in the world, and you guys know, I try to make this place as much of an inspiration station as I possibly can for you guys, or an inspiration preserve, let's say. And I started sitting back and thinking about it, and I went, there are so many great books coming out of Comicsgate, so many things people should be getting excited about, and anything I can do, which has been the case since I came into Comicsgate, to showcase anybody's work better. If I have an idea, I just want to do it. And Art's kind of popped into my head because I was watching Art Thibert's stream this morning, and my sister-in-law lives in Houston, so she was affected by the hurricane and all the storms they had. I know Art was affected by it too. And you try to get into a zone promoting your books when those books launch, and to get hit by a power outage and all of that kind of stuff and having to work around all that stuff it can take the wind out of your sails. So I just wanted to put some wind back in those sails, if that makes sense. What is up, Schneily? How are you doing, my friend? I haven't seen you forever. Deb Koth. Is it Deb Koth or Deb Koth, Schneily? It's great to see you. Nothing much is up here. Yeah, it'd be easier to, what does that say? It'd be easier to, can I even read? Am I literate? It'd be easier to fit in advertising with shorter trailers, 2-minute break, 6 20-second, or 4 30-second teaser trailers. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, man. I heard a beep or a boop, but I'm not sure what I heard. I may have done something or hit a button. I don't know how it all works. But yeah, so here's the other aspect of what I've been talking about with my brother Rocky, who is in the chat. And again, hail to you, brother. I've been thinking about, I want to interview creators, but I want to do pre-recorded interviews where I really show off the technical look. Beep boop, says Rocky. What's up, man? What is up? Do you want me to send you the link, man? I can send you the link. You can pop in and say, hey. But the thing I was thinking about was that we do a lot of interviews, but I was thinking about how the technology has improved, and with Ecamm, I helped Jericho Green, shout out to Jericho on the West Coast, man. I helped him cut an ad for one of his sponsors recently. I mean, I guess it was like about a month ago or so. And the cool thing about that was that, he had never, he doesn't use Ecamm, he used StreamYard. So I could capture that footage of him in 1080p, and then I could edit it. I could get high quality audio. I could get him to do a bunch of different takes. And that was the thing that was so great about it. And I started thinking, I can do that with interviews. The stuff yes, it takes a lot of time. Everything worth doing, does. But there's something about the Zoom call, we're both looking into the camera interview, that I just think we could do something cooler. Don't know what that is, but I'm just brainstorming right now. Because I want to showcase Comicsgate creators in ways, if I can, that are evergreen and that really show their artwork. Like, there's something about showing your artwork on StreamYard where it makes it 720p, and then the camera's capturing 720p, and we are living in a 4K world. So I'm trying to get to 1080p when I stream or record, barring internet service and interference. But if I could, at the very least, do some pre-recorded stuff that was in 1080, I think it just affects people, just like having better sound and all of those things, which I'm always trying to learn and do a better job at. But my buddy Rock is really great at figuring all that stuff out and picking those things up. I mean, he's been streaming on his channel for, I don't even know how long it's been, come to think of it. But he's been streaming on his channel. I just got a text from my man here. I just was laughing at it. Sorry about that. Let me see what I can do with that. I don't know how it works. But let me see if I can get him the link, man. Let me see. If I copied it? Yeah, let me try it. We'll see how it goes. Let's see. Where are you, kid? Alrighty. Let me see if I can find this. Okay. There we go. Let's see. He's got his own little special thing there. Let's try to see if this works. There you have it. All right, buddy. I sent it to you on Twitter. Let me know what is up if you get that. All right, what's up? We got John in the house. How are you doing, John, man? Great to see you, brother. Gosh, look at this. Everybody's back. It's Old Home Week. I said no more lives today. Sean said hold my beer. Or soda, depending, or coffee drink. But it is great to see you, John. What's up, Doc Brewski? Yeah! Doc Brewski is in the house. Thank you. Man. Doc, I miss you. I see you in everybody else's chat, and I'm like, where is he? Where is Doc? And he comes in like a wrecking ball. I love it. I love it, Doc. It is great to see you, my friend. I've been like, I see you in every other stream. I was like, what is it about me that Doc doesn't love to come in and hate on me a little bit? Just a little bit? You know? Always a bridesmaid is how I've been feeling. But Doc, I feel like the bride tonight, my friend. And it is excellent to see you, man. So yeah, it's good to see everybody, man. I've missed streaming, and I wanted to just get the books packed because, you know, Nosfero started with the launch of the book, and it didn't really end for me, or not end, but you know what I mean, until today. Let me see if I can make this work here. Oh boy, let's see if it works. Okay, I think I've got you in here. I wonder if people can hear you, or if I have to add you in. Hang on. Oh wait, I got it. Wait. Let me see. Add left, assign. Let's say guest 1. Or is that guest 2? What is happening? Okay, we're going to try this and see if this works. Video source, guest 2. Does that work? Is that you? Are you in the house? Let me see this. Assign guest 2. Hang on. There we go. I think that worked.
What?
Let me see if I can hear you. You're a little low. Yeah,
can you hear me? Yo.
Yeah, you're a little low.
Test. I can give you more signal if you want.
Yeah, give me some more volume, man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Ooh, that's sexy.
Scary.
How are you doing, brother? It's great to see you, man.
I'm doing all right. Yeah. Well, not see you. I can see you.
Yeah, not see. It's so great to not see your face. No.
Yes.
Yeah, get low. What's up, Muralist One? But yeah, man. Oh, it felt so good to get those last books to the post office.
Yeah,
today,
congratulations. Man. That's awesome.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, well,
that's really awesome. I saw that. I think you sent an update on Indiegogo, right?
No, Lauren's doing all that now, dude. It's great.
Oh.
Yeah, she did. I mean, I was there. It's not like she did it and I didn't know it was happening, but she's like, I said, babe, do the updates, do all of that stuff. I'm doing everything else. Like, if you got Nosfero, the first printing of Nosfero, if you're one of the 660 packages that we sent out, I packed your book. Nice. No exceptions. It was just me. So every single book I packed. I mean, and when you see, you know, you've gotten one of the books from me.
Yeah.
I bagged and boarded every single book, everything.
Handwritten
note on almost. If I missed one, it's because I missed it. Every single package, and I hand wrote your name and your backer number on the outside to prep it for her to put the printed labels on. So yes, every single package, man. It's crazy. Absolutely.
That's amazing. Nice. What was the total packages you sent out? Do you know?
660.
Holy moly. That is crazy.
Yeah, man.
Congrats.
I'm hoping for even more. That's the plan. I want to
see. And is that just... Did you... From that update, I think... Was it just domestic, or did you do international too?
International.
Oh my gosh.
International. The last internationals went out today.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
Crazy.
Has to be done, man. And listen, you know, the folks I'm with, and you know some of these maniacs that I love, the folks that I'm with, the amount of the standard, Lloyd Burton, my man. Oh, dude, this guy, I don't know if you know Lloyd from the chat, but Lloyd and all of these cats, but Lloyd is a channel member and has just been a force of positivity for me
What's up,
as
Lloyd?
An artist. Yeah, nice. Lloyd has just like... I came up with a former student of mine. I don't know if you've met him. I feel like I tried to introduce you guys once or something. is a guy named What's Up Eric Huffles, channel member and Rockstar, is in the house. Cameron Scott Davis, who is a concept artist. He worked on Guitar Hero, worked for DreamWorks, worked for all these.
The name sounds familiar. I never met him, but the name sounds familiar.
He had a line of DC Comics statues at Sideshow. He works for Sideshow a lot, and but based on his style. That dude is crazy. But he was one of my students, and he came by the house because he was doing a lecture at RISD, and he came by the house. Holy cow! Hold on a second. Come on now. What's even happening in here, man? We got lunatics in here. Sniley coming in here. Deb Koth, I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Sniley gifted 5 Shanth Enjeti art memberships. And how's your father got one? Channel member. Great to see you, my friend. John is in the house.
One.
Nice. You got one too. There you go. You got one as well.
Sweet.
Look at this. Madness.
Thank you,
Simply
Deb Koth.
Green got one. We love you. And you know how we celebrate people in this house. I'll have to pause from my insanity, Deb. You're a legend. This, my friend, is for you. Charge! And I gotta also say this, if I can make it work. Charge! And there we are. Thank you so much for your support, Spaceman! It's so great. I saw Spaceman in the chat, and Spaceman was like, are you going to be doing a stream at some point? Drawing stream? I'm like, yes, I am. But yeah, so Cameron came by, and we were talking about art, we were talking about creativity, and
You mean came by physically?
Physically, yeah. He came by the house,
okay.
and it was awesome because I got to visit with him, over at DreamWorks, and I got when he was working at DreamWorks Animation when they were. I don't know if I think they're leasing that building out now.
They stripped down big time. Yeah.
Yeah, they stripped, and it was like right before that. So when I went to visit DreamWorks, it was the weirdest. You want to talk about a weird trip? So I went out to go visit DreamWorks, and I'm going get lunch, and then I'm walking after I got lunch to go. Because Cameron was showing me around to go get something, to eat from the back, and I walked past Jeffrey Katzenberg talking to Guillermo del Toro, and I was like, "Yeah, I guess I'm on the West Coast. It's a trip." Yes, indeed, Lloyd Burton, speaking easy, man. I love it, but it's man, it's cool. It's a cool thing because I don't know. I just sort of feel as though the potential for everything we're doing in terms of getting our work out there. And, putting things out there in a way to where, the technology for shooting video, like the phone video, which doesn't even sound like it's 4K or whatever,
right? That
you shot when you were in Paris, was just, it was incredible. Like I felt like I was in all those shops. That wasn't even possible, a couple of years ago. It's nuts, man.
It's pretty
absolutely
awesome.
Crazy.
Like I just did a latest video of a shop that was in San Luis Obispo, and I was talking to the guy, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I would, it would be great if I could do a video for you." And he was like all into it, and he was like, "Do you need to set anything up? Do I need to set anything?" I was like, "No, just my phone. I'll be in and out like pretty quick." And I just just whipped it out and put it on. No.
What you mean to say
my phone.
Let's be really clear. Hold on a second. What you did is you said, "Hey, I don't need any extra lighting because I'm going to film your comic book shop with my phone." I know exactly what you meant. The next campaign is going to be starting as soon as I recharge and have more blood in my body. Right now, I'm totally wiped. But it was so cool because people don't know, or those that know, as I like to say, that you have an unbelievably, deep history in animation and production and all of that kind of stuff. So it has been a trip watching you do YouTube, and you would at first, you don't even ask me questions anymore. You'd go, "Hey, how do I do this?" And I'm like, "I don't even think about that. I don't know how that works." And then you were just like, multiple camera angles. And there's the sign up. Thank you, Eric Huffles. Yeah, it's just
it definitely taps into
transfusions. Sorry, John. Go ahead, Rock. I'm sorry.
Yikes. It definitely taps into the production side of me, like the YouTube, just the video production side of stuff. And it does it for you too. I mean, look at you, your show's like, I really love your Pizza Live show with like showing the movie in the TV. I love that. And how you set that up, and to even have the like smoke animation on the pizza while the whole thing's going. All those little touches, it's awesome. It's like nothing we do can't go through that filter of our brains, like, you know, our artist brains, which I think is great, but it's also a curse a little bit because I know I'm like very perfectionistic about stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, you're hilarious.
But it's fun. It's been fun.
Like, my favorite stream ever was where you were muted.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you
that's
why.
How perfectionistic.
Because I looked at my wife and I go, you know her. What am I saying? You were at our wedding. So I looked at Lauren and I said, this is the difference between me and him. It's like, his stuff is so professional, but you were having your first, like, things aren't working, and it was like you blew a microchip, and it was hilarious. And I'm like sitting here going, dude, just breathe. You got, like, that's all we do is make mistakes. Do you know what I mean? That's all we do. You know, it's crazy. Am I muted? John says.
There's one stream. I've had streams where I've like knocked my camera over. John's been in those. I'm sure Mr. Monkey Boy's seen some of those. I've knocked my camera over. There's that. I think that stream that I was muted, I think I did it twice in that stream. So
yeah, I was watching it, and I was like, and I was laughing because I was going, it's like laughing in the best sense, because this is what I think it takes a little while to understand about this stuff, is that people can spot when people are being real. And I think that one thing you used to say when I was streaming, you would type this in the chat, is you would go, this is exactly what Shanth is like when you're hanging out with him. Like, there is no difference, like, when you're hanging out. And I think you're very much the same way. It's, you don't have to put on, some character or whatever when you work. Right. I mean, about the closest I get to that is this makes me come off to some people as an extrovert, which I'm not. That's about as far as it goes. But I talk to the person at the drive-thru window at McDonald's too often exactly like this. You went on a trip. We had you on speakerphone that night. My son and I went to go get McDonald's at 2 a.m. What's up, Peter Watts? How are you doing, my friend? Great to see you. Yeah, I mean, it's I love these guys, man. I mean, these guys who show up, and these guys who are channel members, these guys who gift members. Thank you again, Schneily. I do appreciate it, my friend. And all of these folks who are just like rooting for you, like Doc Brewski. I mean, painting comics, making comics, shipping comics, doing all of that stuff yourself. It's massive. And the thing that I like about, folks like yourself is that, you've been in the industry for a very, very long time, and the technology for an individual is just now catching up to your broad skill set to where you can utilize it. I mean,
I think we like gathered all these like random skills that didn't make any sense.
Except that's what Lauren says it all the time, man. Yeah,
that's right. It's like, can we like merge technology and like nerdiness and drawing and art and talking to strangers about all this stuff and being excited about it? Not before. But yeah, it's this way. Even my wife told me, she was like, I know why you like to, stream. I know why this is like really rewarding for you. It's because nobody's talking back to you.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Because you don't have to have a conversation. You're just like, talking to the air.
And you know what's so weird about the space, guys? For all of you guys in the chat, this is the thing that you guys taught me about myself that never dawned on me at all. Never dawned on me. The chat goes, wow. I think Mike Bancroft might have been the first. Bance might have been one of the first people to point this out. He goes, how do you talk and draw at the same time, or talk and paint at the same time? And about 15 to 20 people into this, I realized that was weird. I went, so this is a thing. Oh, because all I know is Bob Ross, and he was awesome at it. So to me,
Yeah.
that's what I thought was normal. So I never realized that, and I thought, wow, that is crazy. But as you know,
that's
that's
still not normal for me. That's still not normal for me. That's why I love watching your streams. I'm like, you can do this,
Amen.
and I'm just like mesmerized by. I kind of always feel like you have a stunt person drawing, and you're the person talking that I can see the head, but it's the stunt person drawing because I don't know how you do it.
Wouldn't it be
crazy.
sweet if like a white hand came in front of the camera right now? Be like, Sean.
I've seen somebody, I don't know who it was, I can't remember the name, but I've seen somebody's channel where because of what they were drawing, like they were under some sort of NDA or something, so they were drawing live, but the overhead camera that they were showing that they were drawing was something that was pre-recorded. They weren't trying to they weren't trying to lie about it, but they were just showing the art of drawing, but they couldn't show what they were actually drawing. It was really weird. It was kind of this weird disconnect. But
yeah, NDAs are a crazy thing when you're doing work, especially when I did this job. Funny enough, you want to talk about cool stuff and coming full circle. Cameron, who I was talking about before, brought me on as an artist on his team when he was art directing of a what's it called, virtual reality game. So nice. I got to do some concept art for that, which is great work, and it's fun. It's so fun working with somebody who's as creative and dynamic as Cameron is, and I had such a great time doing it. But it was absolutely calling on all of those random, seemingly random skills that are highly compatible now with YouTube. I mean, it gets everything out of us, which is what I like.
Yeah. I was just kind of talking about doing YouTube and to a friend over the weekend who just learned about that I was doing it, and he was like, how do you do it? Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, well, you're like the on-screen talent, and you're also the producer behind the scenes, you're the camera operator, you're the sound technician, and then you're the like moderator because you're dealing with people in the chat and all this, and you're trying to like communicate whatever it is. Like in my particular case, it's like sharing about comics and the comics that I'm into at the moment or the week or whatever. So it's like, so you're also researching that and like trying to put it all together in an entertaining, interesting way. I'm like, it's exhausting. It's really fun though. It's really fun.
It is. It's fun, and I think that the other aspect of it is that it seems crazy with all of this stuff going on, trying to find time to help out other creators and do that kind of thing. But it happens a lot. It happens a lot in this space, in Comicsgate, and even when I was doing some stuff for Razor Fist, people who are serious, and by that I just mean they love the stuff that they do. They're passionate about it, and they take the whole thing seriously. That's the best stuff in the world. That's the most fun stuff in the world to see. And I actually love seeing other people just kicking ass. And I remember when you got to 100 subscribers, I was so excited, man. And now what are you at? You're probably like at some crazy number.
I'm at 245 as of today.
245, dude. Yeah. How awesome is that?
It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's like every time I just get one subscriber, I'm like super excited. And it's really fun. It's been a trip, and then each time I'm like, wow. Actually the big one for me was I think 50 subscribers. Like that one was like a huge milestone in my brain of like, wow, can get to 50. And then you blink and we're like, well, let's shoot for 250 now. Like that's the next milestone in my brain, right? So but yeah, it's been fun, and it's been fun especially with the chat. Like John can attest. John, Mr. Monkey Boy, these guys show up pretty consistently, and it's just been great getting to know them. And as you can attest, your chat's just like this, and these guys are very active in your chat as well. It's like it's just fun getting to know the people. That's been such an amazing discovery about doing YouTube. Like all the things, getting your art out there, talking about things you love, yes, everything awesome. Doing all the production stuff, awesome. But the chat was something that you don't really understand until you experience it.
It's like the Matrix.
And yeah.
Hey, what up,
and
bro? How you doing,
that's been surprisingly rewarding.
Antoine, the professor in the house. Yeah, it is. HR, what's up? How are you doing? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, man. They're not all the same. I agree. Get Sean's Backdraft subs. I don't know. I will say this, man.
I'll take them.
Yeah, you guys are. Yeah, CG is a very, very dedicated audience, and the thing too is that here's the best way I would put it: the way that what's up, Dean? Dean's in the house. The way that it was for us when we met in school was, and it was tough. It was like this my whole youth, my whole childhood was. Seeing somebody either with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trade paperback or a backpack when you're a kid and going, hey, do you like comics? Like, we were always trying to find each other. That's why...
you gotta find your people, yeah.
Dude, the biggest lie about comics that has been told for the last decade and a half that just drives me crazy is, one, that comics weren't inclusive. I don't know if you guys know about the whole beggars can't be choosers thing. But comics were not, I know you guys all know this because that's our fan base. Comics were not cool. We would take you if you had a pulse, and under no circumstance was any girl ever rejected from the comic scene. Quite the opposite. Okay? It wasn't us not letting girls sit at our table. Interestingly enough, it was quite often girls not letting us sit at their table. That's how that worked, guys. So I just laugh, because I go... We're always looking for each other. Like, we're always like going, oh, dude, you like that thing? You know, John Malin, who, you know John, right? It's, John is, the reason I backed
I just got Godlike in the mail last week.
Oh, nice,
and opened it up on my stream,
Yeah,
I finished reading it, and the artwork's amazing. Totally amazing,
So, John is a massive Wills fan. Massive. Mm-hmm. And he got the Stone Omnibus, and then he got me to get the Stone Omnibus. Do you have it?
I don't. Now I'm going to have to look it up.
I'm sorry. That would be like
I want to get... Wetworks was my jam.
Wetworks
was my jam, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Stone is freaking beautiful. Oh, wow. Eric Hoffels, I started reading ElfQuest because of a girl I liked read it. Okay, so ElfQuest, back in the days...
first...
Yep.
The first volume of the Omnibus or whatever that ElfQuest that I got.
Antoine,
I still have to read that.
The professor in the house, I'm so glad you said that. So ElfQuest was one of those books that made it out to Chattanooga. So there was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trade paperback, and then in the Walden books, which we had back in the day before, Borders and any of that stuff. ElfQuest was the other painted fantasy book or, painted indie book that was out there. That indie scene was huge. So I remember all of that stuff. Hell yeah!
Did you see that YouTube video about Richard and Wendy Peeney? It's a really good one.
No,
I'll have to send you the link. Let me find the link and I'll put it in the chat. It's a really good one.
You could only get the comics that were coming to the bookstore for me until we got cars, and I could make it out to the local comic shop. It was nuts.
We had dinner with some family friends yesterday, and they were talking about visiting like the Southeast, and they were like, oh yeah, and my parents, they really wanted to go to Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I was like, why? What's there? What's in Chattanooga?
Well,
just a comic book store we went to.
Well, there's the aquarium. There's the aquarium, which is of course a thing for people, but here's the real thing about it that was so funny. You want to hear a really crazy story. So my brother Nick, who is like, he's in his 60s now. He's just an incredible artist, knows the Unreal Engine. I mean, this dude is like a legit brilliant man. And he was the guest of honor at the Chattanooga Science Fiction Convention.
What?
And so he actually had been to my town.
That's
and
weird.
I said to him, I go, dude, for everything everybody says about, what the South is like, what this is like, blah, blah. What was your experience there? He goes, well, everything in Chattanooga closed at 5. I go, yep. And he goes, so we couldn't get any Tylenol. And the event organizers, they had a gift bag for us, and they all ran out to get Tylenol, to find Tylenol, because my wife had a headache. And he was like, I've never been treated that well in my life. I said, that's what it's like, dude. It's crazy town, Too funny. What's up? How's your father? Yes, indeed. You got a gift membership from our man Sniley. It's great to see. Yes, there is the YouTube. Thank you for posting that, Dean. The story behind ElfQuest video, I love it.
Beat me to
Doc
it. Beat me to
Brewski.
it, Comics Mate.
Yeah, Comics Dean is awesome. He's in Australia right now. He's ready to rock. And he did a beautiful Lucent piece. One of my favorite Lucent pieces that I've seen. Was gorgeous, man. My uncle who got me into comics worked at Walden Books. That was clutch. Yes. Yeah, Walden Books is the best, man. Yeah. Eric Hupfels, yeah.
Was
it wasn't
the
a
other
big
Walden
ask
Books?
to get into... Go ahead.
No, I was just saying it was Walden Books, and then remember B. Dalton? Remember that place?
B. Dalton Books? Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Eric Huffle says, Antoine Dennison, yeah, it wasn't a big ask to get me into that series. I was a fan of the Dark Crystal, so it seemed natural. Rocky hates the Dark Crystal and all of
I
that
love the Dark Crystal.
Don't believe him. He's a liar. He doesn't.
I love that movie.
Sorry, go ahead. I was so disappointed to learn that Wills is not actually his name, by the way. That was sad.
Wait, who told you that? Because somebody else told me that too.
I probably told it to you.
Did you?
Again, but his real name is William, and his nickname is Wills, and so he spells it Wills.
That's such a Filipino thing to do.
Isn't it, though? I love it, man. Like Pacquiao. Speaking of people I love and who are massively important to Nosfero and the launch of that book, Jeremy Eisenfire 33. It is great to see you, my brother from another mother from New England.
Nice.
I'm in Rhode Island. He's in Mass, but we are both from Lovecraft country. Don't ever get it twisted. Yeah, Dark Crystal is the shiznit. What's up, Ricky Dane? How are you doing? I can't sleep. I'm watching Jack Reacher. I love it, man. Aldion, I bow to you, sir. It's great to see you, my friend. How are you doing, brother? Great to see you. But yeah, man, it's those books, those Brian Frode illustrated books and all of that stuff. I mean, that and Henson. Come on now. Mm-hmm. That was some amazing stuff.
Yeah, that was Henson just being like, all right, I'm going to do what I want now.
Yep.
I love, that movie's amazing. And actually, I would say, I don't know if people in the chat watch the Netflix series. I actually really like the Netflix series. I was very skeptical about it because I was like, I don't want anybody like messing with the original. And granted, I still love the original, but the Netflix series is really quite good.
I heard
the
things
Dark
about
Crystal
it. I didn't hear
series.
anything bad about it, you know?
No, it's really good.
Some of my favorite later Henson stuff, of course, after Jim's passing, is Farscape. I think Farscape is an incredible show. Really love Farscape. What's up, Plush? How are you doing?
I never watched Farscape. Yeah.
Yeah.
It stepped too close to Trek for me. You know how I feel about Trek.
Dude, Lauren would slap you.
I know.
With a pan. With an iron skillet. I taught her too much. Yeah, she just comes at me. I'd like to pour some hot grease on you. She's like that. That is what she's absolutely like. Yeah, I love Farscape, and I love the puppets in that. It's really fun. We're not going to talk about Star Trek. We're not going to do this right now, okay? We're not going to rock. But yeah. Space and Beyond. Space Above and Beyond seems really cool, but I have not seen it yet. Simply great.
I don't know.
I gotta catch up on stuff, man.
Space.
Yeah. But I love the freaking artistry. Like Jim Henson's stuff, there was just this craftsmanship to the stuff they did, and he attracted these artists that were brilliant. Oh man, Farscape
he
has a rabid fan base, and I get it, says Peter.
He had such a pure passion and joy for what he did. Yeah. Like that man was one of a kind, like one of one. And so I think that just really came out in his work, just the inventiveness, the it's just amazing. One of my heroes.
Yeah, making stuff with the kind of, it's weird. I think you got to have the skill, you got to have the craft. Like it can't just all be passion. When those things sync up, that's when it works. Mm-hmm. Doing Nosfero, if it taught me anything, it was like you hear everybody tell that story about Stan Lee's wife saying, if you're going to do this, do one your way. Like if you want to do, before you give up on comics, with the Fantastic Four, do one comic book your way. Like whatever you think that is. And Stan and Jack coming together, and for me, oh wow, that's cool. The Farscape YouTube channel has been running the show live. That is awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, and when I did Nosfero the Crypt Walker, and I'm like going, I'm going to do a fully painted comic book. Like, this is going to happen. I got to be honest with you guys, man. It's like, oh my God. The sun is shining, but the ice is slippery. Shout out to The Shadow. That movie is awesome. I'm so glad Razor Fist spotlighted it. But yeah, I mean, it's like, I was like, can I even, like, I'm going to do this because I said I was going to do it. You know how I am. Like, I was like, I'm going to marry you. And my wife goes, no. And then I was like, get in the van. Like, if I need to do something, it's on.
Yes.
But it was, God, my long suffering life. But I wanted to do a book that was just, you know, all the stuff that I saw and was informed by coming up, and Art Nouveau and Alphonse Mucha. And man, these guys made it happen, and I cannot wait for the Second Chance campaign. Shoot, I need to get back to Graham Nolan's book before it's too late. Going back it because we're running out of time. Yeah, I have that I cut a trailer for him. Yeah, Mrs. Enjetti is a sharp cookie. She's serious. Yeah, I would never trap her. She's far too sneaky. You know what I mean? But yeah, have you seen Graham's latest book, Joe Frankenstein? Have you seen the trailer for that yet? Oh,
you
dude,
have it
let me
ready?
play it. Yeah, I have it. I have it ready. Let's play it real quick.
Play it.
See if I can make this work. There we go. Now we're back. Yeah, I mean, Graham is just doing some cool stuff. The interior artist is doing amazing work on that book. And yeah, thank you, Doc Bruce.
He's not doing the artwork?
No, he's the co-creator on it, and he's doing one of the covers. And it's so cool to see the work that's going into it, because I had the opportunity to be on a stream with Graham, of course, on launch day for that. And it was just, was so great to see the work that has been, you know, being done on it. It's beautiful, you know, and I think it's fully digitally painted, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that was very cool stuff.
And you cut that trailer, right, Shanth?
Yeah, I cut that trailer because
Nice.
I don't even know, man. I really wanted to do more stuff. I still want to do more stuff for Comicsgate. So yeah, looking at Anthony Gonzalez Clark's artwork and being on a stream with him talking about it, Graham is what comics should be and what comics have been historically, which is he is very much a mentor of talent, much like I'm sure Chuck Dixon is. You know, we're on this planet for a certain amount of time. And so when you back Joe Frankenstein, you are, especially, you know, the latest Joe Frankenstein, I backed all 3 books because I have to catch up. And the link is in the description. And thank you, Eric Huffles, for putting it in the chat. You're backing a talent that's coming into the field and is being nurtured by, you know, Graham Nolan and Chuck Dixon on this project. And
do you know how he found that? Do you know how he found that artist?
Oh yeah, he's been doing some work, I think, in and around Comicsgate, if I'm not mistaken. And that's how we meet people. You know, so many people I've met that way. It's craziness.
Oh, I was gonna say, real quick, I was gonna say about your trailers, Sean. The thing I love about your trailers, and I can tell it's something that you just enjoy, is like all the sound effects you put into trailers. Like, you know, people put on music and, like, you know, cut together moving images or whatever, but I always love the work you put on the sound effects. Like, you take the extra mile and like sound effect stuff. I love it.
Is this an intervention?
Adds a lot.
What the hell's going on?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Don't look now.
Yeah.
But we're taking away your camera.
That's right. It's happening. It's happening. Yeah. I love the didn't he do some work for Shane? I believe he did. Yes, I think he did some work for Shane and Mucha, Sheila, and Thomas Hart Benton. I was just watching the Thomas Hart Benton documentary 2 or 3 days ago, has one of my favorite quotes in it. Oh, shoot, and I texted it to my brother, so let me just see if I can find the quote, because I want to get it exact. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, this quote. You're gonna crack up. Or not. I don't want to put any pressure on you. But
John just said you're a closet Foley artist. I agree with you.
Oh, dude, I would love to do that. If I could do anything other than the job I do, you know, that inside the actor studio quote, I would want to be a film restoration artist and clean up old films. I could do that.
I could see that.
I absolutely love it. So here's the quote. Thomas Hart Benton famously said to one of his friends, "The artist's life is the best in the world if you can get through the first 40 years." How freaking great is that quote? So yeah, and then of course Muka, one of my big heroes, I just got his illustrations of the Our Father in a book form, and I'm going to zoom out because this is I'm zoomed way in, but this is the sketch. These are the sketches for the illustration, because he just wanted to snatch people's souls, and these are the illuminated manuscripts. So when someone says, you know, if someone were to ask me, who's your biggest influence? Muka, not even close, and no one's even close. And what would you ideally love to be able to do with Nosfero? I would love to be able to do what Muka did in these illustrations, although I'd want them to be in color. Sketches, fools. Sketches. 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 What is wrong with him?
How old did he
God,
live?
He was a genius. I'm
gonna look up how old he was. How
when
old did
died?
he live to? Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't want to even tell you about that. Yeah, on the long list.
He was old.
We hate the. Yeah, do you know how he died?
No.
He
was 78 years old.
When the Yazidis came in to erase Czech and Slavic culture, they interrogated him because he was important and beat him.
No.
And he died a couple days later, I think it was, as a result of the injury. So if you needed another reason to not like those F words, killing Muka falls under that for me. Ugh. But yeah, gosh. I mean, that was the whole socialist sort of way, right? Was to go in and eradicate, and same thing with communism, which is to eradicate the culture. One of the wildest things, yes, indeed, quoting Indiana, I love it, Eric Huffles, I hate those guys. One of the most interesting things I ever saw were there were protests in China when Kung Fu Panda came out, and it wasn't for cultural appropriation. It was protests by the Chinese artists saying, if you would not have laws prohibiting us from showing Chinese culture before Mao, we could have made that movie. How trippy is that? That you couldn't do your own historical culture because it was seen as a threat to the regime under law. And I look at that stuff and I just go, I love global culture. I love the fact that manga exists because Tezuka was such a fanatic about Disney. I love Winsor McKay's work with the birth of animation, but Alphonse Mucha, for me, he's on his own level. You know? Oh, yes, Gustave Doré for 100%. Amazing work, yeah. Man, I once told my students, I had been looking at Mucha before I came in to teach, back when I was teaching. I came to my classroom and I said, screw originality. Everybody stop what you're doing and just try to work like Mucha. Just to drive the point home of how good he was, man. It's like, dude. And, of course, that's impossible. Whenever I show Mucha or I would show Mary Blair or any of these legends, I would always jokingly say, and here is proof that whatever your beliefs are, if God does exist, because I never know who believes what in the classroom, I said, this is proof he does not give out talent equally.
Right. That life's not fair.
Yeah. It's like, and that's the thing, man. Grateful for whatever God gives me, man. But I will tell you, Mucha was on his own level, man. 100% on his own level. And thank God.
But he didn't have TikTok, so take that,
He didn't have TikTok, but the weirdest thing I'm not even kidding you, is he did an entire illustrated illuminated manuscript of Fortnite dances. I didn't... He was ahead of his time.
That's right.
Really ahead of his time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrifying. Yeah, terrifying. So what can you do? What is it called when you copy a masterpiece for practice? Master copy, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Yeah, master copies are such an essential part of learning that I didn't really fully understand until I saw the Charles Barg Jerome book, because you learn stuff from studying people who are masterful. And I told my students, they said, but don't you think it's wrong if someone were to get a career copying Mary Blair? And I jokingly said, try copying a Mary Blair first and get back to me.
Right. That would never happen.
It won't happen, because Mary Blair's color theory is freaking bananas. And mixing the colors she would get and making them work is also insane. And it's not what people think. And even if you do, you can always tell a second-rate Mary Blair. You're either able to do something that's competent, or people just don't react. And if you're brilliant, that's a whole nother thing. Yeah, master study. Yeah, absolutely right. Remember the phrase the other day. Thanks. Yeah, there you go. You guys are great. Yeah, Mary Blair is outstanding. What the best thing about Mary Blair, I think, in our lifetime has been, one, there being books on Mary Blair, but also the quality of reproductions you get now in books. I don't know how you would reproduce those colors, 10 or 15 years ago.
Yeah, I saw an exhibit of hers actually at the Cartoon Art Museum here in San Francisco a long time ago, like almost 16, 17 years ago. But her originals, I was so shocked by some of the original paintings I saw of hers, because they were really small, way smaller than you would think. And the colors, these were like decades old, these paintings, but the colors were so crazy vibrant and alive, that, like, I mean, they've got some great reproductions now, but you just couldn't believe how vivid they looked in person.
Yeah, I saw Mary Blair's and Ivan Earle's in person at the Guillermo del Toro exhibit of his personal collection in Toronto. And when I was up there and I was looking at that stuff, I was shocked at how well attached it was to the wall. And stunned by the stun gun.
Right.
I mean, it was something else.
Next time you come visit me on this coast, we'll go to the gallery, the Ivan Earle Gallery. It's just a gallery, that's all his stuff. It's not too far from here.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you had to guess, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate their security? Is it? If it's under $1,000, no.
Exactly. In California.
I know. Oh man, I will tell you.
Well, there's two of us, so one of us could distract, and the other can run out like the crazy. Yeah,
person. I mean, two guys almost 50 trying to stealthily run out, break a hip. We both probably had near fatal stair falls at this point. Yeah, we could make it happen, man. Yeah, I should have thrown a can. Oh God, that stuff drives me nuts, man.
Oh,
but you know what's funny is this is the crazy thing about it. To me, excellence never makes me want to quit when I see it. Excellence always just makes me want to appreciate excellence. I feel like I'm being refueled when I see a Mary Blair original or great works of art. I'm just going, wow, with human hands, you painted our collective imagination. That
or
quote,
when
I don't know if
good...
it was... Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when I see a good, theater production or something, I'm just my creative juices are they totally fill up. Or see a good book or read a good comic, I'm just it is possible. Humans can do something that's amazing.
Yep, absolutely. Whenever you use that phrase, all I can think of is Gary Oldman going, really gets my juices flowing. It's Walken-esque. It's really weird in Leon the Professional, but I tend to go with the heavier guys. God, he's weird in that movie. But you know, it's true. You know, you see what I found when I was teaching is that most of my students. So do you remember a while back when they did the Mary Blair Google Doodle? I don't know if you remember this.
Vaguely. I don't remember what it looked like.
A Mary Blair.
Yeah.
They did a bunch.
Yeah,
of
I remember they
ones.
did a series of artists, but I don't remember it specifically.
My students were
like.
responsible for that.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so some of my kids went on to be the lead Google Doodlers, and they took all of the artists I introduced them to and gave them Google Doodles. It was awesome. So yeah,
awesome.
all these people are looking at Little Nemo and Slumberland on the Google main page, and I'm like, oh, that's one of my kids. And they would message me before, I hope it lived up to... It's ridiculous, dude.
And of course you wrote back and said no.
Exactly, I'm Asian. You know? I was like, why not A? In all caps.
Right.
You know? Hey, what's up, Timothy Fitzgerald? How are you doing, my friend? It's great to see you. Yeah. I mean, look, we've absolutely got to cancel culture and uncancel beauty. And that's the thing, too, right? Is that you can tell a lot about people by their reaction to excellence and beauty. Whether they feel slighted or upset because the spotlight's off of them, or whether they can appreciate it, enjoy it, and support it. And in that way, you know, Comicsgate and the crowdfunding space and everything that we've been doing here in, you know, in CG and Comicsgate is like, it's been really affirming for me, because it is ludicrous to think that a bunch of people are going to support a fully painted comic, dude. That was nuts to me. Because I thought I was doing something really weird, and it's like the folks that I've met, you know, whether it's Shane Davis or Ethan or John or any of the folks, you know, that I've met, Vaughn and Eric Weathers and all of these different cats that we talk about monsters and horror, and I know I'm probably leaving people's names out, and I apologize, but it's and even Razor Fist too, and Michael, of course. What time do you call this, sir?
This
Mike, did you
Shanth
see
time
your
right
trailer
now.
play, or are you late? The time is 2:42, kid. So yeah, I haven't streamed in so long. I had to do it, man. I had to do it. Yeah, check out Eric Weathers' Battle Brick Road, right there, Battle Brick Road 2 in the house, and Mike Bancroft's Bance in the house, and his Lucent. So I don't know if you saw your trailer yet, but since you're here, let me play version whatever I'm on now with sound effects. I kept recutting it. Oh, wait, and I gotta pause for a minute. Channel member Diesel is also in the house. My man, rolling like a ninja. Diesel's my man. I love it, man. Yeah, so let me play Bance's trailer really quick because, you know, I want to play it. Sound effects, baby.
I live death every day.
We already know that trailer. I'm good.
Oh,
no, but it's
wait. What was that? Wait. Oh, did
was
that
that? Is that
accidentally
Nosfero?
play? Oh,
What?
wait. That
Whoops.
wasn't meant to play.
But I mean, this is the crazy thing, right? You could take any section. Mike knows what I'm talking about, man. What's up, brother? And it's great to see you here, man. This is the thing about it too, right? Is it and Diesel, you know, I'm always been in burning the midnight oil. I know you are too, man. Yeah, Rocky is in here too. Yeah, we've been vampires tonight. But this is the cool thing about it. So if you look at a comic like the Lucent, or even I talk to Eric, every Tuesday we do, I'm doing painting lessons with him because he wants to learn how to paint in traditional media. So I do those, for an hour.
Cool.
Yeah, dude, you know me, I never stop, dude. Do you remember coming to my room and we'd like have a crit board, put layout pages, and I'd be telling you guys?
Yeah.
It was shocker that I became a teacher, right? Like that. Oh man. But it's cool because I look at the Lucent, and the Lucent covers a lot of different time. Then I look at and places and space, and then I look at Battle Brick Road, and Battle Brick Road has so many iconic characters. So I realized that when I was doing those 2 trailers, I wanted to do something for my boys, and I go, I want to show the time jump in the Lucent trailer, the stuff from trailer 1, and then have it reflected, and some new stuff reflected in the helmet. And then I wanted to do a spotlight on a character for Battle Brick Road, and that's the fun stuff. What's up, Mighty Geek Studios? How are you doing? Who are you? And what have you done with SHANTH ENJETI? That's right, man. Yeah, we're just up late hanging out. Rocky and I used to do this stuff when both of us had newborns. Isn't that a trip? People would say, they'd go, wait a second. I get that you would call your friend on the West Coast at 3 a.m. because your babies weren't asleep, because it was midnight there. But how was he calling you at 3 a.m?
I don't know how it works in that direction. I don't know how. Dude, I think I got the better end of the bargain on this coast.
I'm not sleeping either way, so you know how it goes. Bancroft. That's a big game hunter name. It is, actually. Bancroft is a big game hunter. Yeah, you can get an order on waffles anytime, my friend. John, you get an order on waffles when you need waffles. If you need waffles forthwith, let me see if the girls can get you some waffles. Hang on one quick second. Charge! They're absolutely ready. They're good to go. We're going to get some waffles going your way. And I do need to reopen it. Oh,
waffle
man.
Sounds good.
Do you remember when, and I want to get back to it. It's just, oh man, there's so many crazy things going on all the time, but I definitely want to do some more Waffle Lodge fun and stuff for sure. That stuff was so fun, man. And it's just, we're just spinning plates between this and Pizza Live, which I'm working on some more animation for that. Oh, it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be absolutely crazy. Yeah, because I want to have, off in the distance, zombies walking towards the house when you see the still.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I got problems, But, oh, man. So when you knew me freshman year, but do you remember when I used to drink, because I did it when I was coming up in the South, but do you ever remember me drinking Crazy Horse malt liquor freshman year?
I probably remember a bottle or two, or empty bottle or two in your room.
That might be. I can't remember. I don't know who drank them.
Your room was probably. Your room was always it was like walking into
a club.
A haze, literally. Yeah.
It was like walking into a club with 2 people. It was like walking into a really cool club's bathroom. That's basically what the room was like. But yeah.
But it was worth it because you always had a stack of comics, so I would brave it, and I would hold my breath and just sit in there and go through your comics.
God, my senior year of college, I took Lauren. This is what a goody two-shoes she was. I took her to her first college party, and it was yeah. I keep forgetting you drank all my 211. Yeah, man. So I made a new T-shirt on the links in the description if you guys want to check it out, and it's for Crazy Horse Malt Soda. And what I did is I made the shield design a bottle cap, and then I did a George Harriman style, spelled with a K, Crazy Horse, like Crazy Cat.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's about as nerdy as it gets, but I wanted a T-shirt that was a throwback to my misspent youth, so I had to do it. Had to be done. Yeah.
What are you working on right now?
Man. So this is just a sketch I'm doing. I had an idea for a painting, and more I find I want to sketch in like a watercolor sketchbook and kind of build it up. So I had this idea. I'm a big fan of Inglorious Rex, Shane Davis's book. Another man married to a gal from Singapore, by the way. So I remember you telling me stories of the flight with a little one to Singapore. And I think he's going to be gearing up to do that at some point. And I was like, God, really, you, brother. Yeah. Because, her family's been out to visit, but...
We may or may not have tried to give my crying baby a spoonful of wine
Benadryl
to try and calm her down.
Yeah, wine or rum or something, right? Yeah, that's right. Because if you don't do that, Arthur Rackham, I got a brand new or newish book on Rackham, and it's amazing. Yeah, Inglorious Rex 3 is right there. Art, what is your email? I want to ask you something. Well, you can message me. There's on my website, there's a link that shoots emails to me. So if you go to shanthenjetiart.com, there's a contact form right there. So yeah, go to shanthenjetiart.com, send me a message, man. Absinthe, yeah.
Or you can email him at brownsugarlove@gmail.com.
That's just for you.
Right.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm not even gonna follow up with more on that joke. It'll go so bad so quickly. So anyway, yeah, I'm a big fan, as you know, of kaiju and especially Shin Godzilla. So this is the way that I tend to connect with artists. I heard John Malin on a stream defending Rob Liefeld, which I almost never see, and I love Rob Liefeld's stuff.
Love Rob Liefeld.
It's so connected to me, man. And I was I'm backing this guy's book because he's defending Rob Liefeld against all odds. And then with Shane Davis is a Godzilla fan, and he was talking about the genius of Shin Godzilla, and he loves Godzilla. Those are the ways we connect. I mean, and with Ethan, it was.
Did you see that recent? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I was gonna say, did you see that recent movie, Godzilla -1? Did you watch that?
Yeah, dude, I have it on Blu-ray, dude. It's great.
Is it awesome?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
It's not awesome. It's good.
Oh,
look. I can't give away any spoilers. It's really
Sure.
good, but it does fall into a couple of tropes that make it. Look. It's good to most people who would see it and say it's great.
so watch it.
There were a couple
I should
of
watch
things.
it.
Oh yeah, it's 100% worth watching. I own it, and
Right.
I own a freaking. I haven't even unboxed it yet because whenever I get things while I have a deadline, I don't let myself open them until the deadline's done. And I know Eric Weathers is that way too, so I'm like very strict about it. But it's a great flick, and
Okay.
and so Shane has got this crazy world of kaiju, and so. But there's these giant creatures that come in at the end, or giant creature that comes in at the end of the latest issue of Inglorious Rex 2. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to have this giant creature with two giant Rexes, which are the name for the kaiju fighters in Inglorious Rex, inside the mouth and swinging its fist and knocking teeth out of its mouth, kind of a la Jeff Darrow kind of stuff with crazy scale. And so I've got the two of the Rexes there. Punching, breaking the teeth out. He's breaking some upper teeth, she's breaking some lower teeth with this giant, like they're in the jaws of death sort of thing, and that's crazy, man. Oh, there you go. Gabe swears that movie is 9 out of 10. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think it's fantastic. It's just that for me, there are a couple of things that I think thematically could have been done, but I think most people are going to see it and love it. It's artistically sublime. There's no getting around it. Oh wait, shoot, I meant to read that one. Last one I saw was the anime trilogy, which had some interesting concepts, but was quite the departure. I would say it's 100% worth watching. Oh, I think they finally see what it is. I think I see. Oh yes, the 232 and yes, you got it. Yeah. Thank you. Finally, someone didn't say it was amazing. It was okay, and yes, worth watching. Yeah, absolutely. My ex gave the kid coffee and was annoyed he didn't go to sleep. Peter, that's rough, man. That is rough. To give a kid coffee on a long flight. Oh my God, that's nightmare fuel. Yeah. Although if you give it me, hey, Admiral. Sorry,
I can't imagine that being a good choice. For anything, whether going to sleep or not.
ADHD, man, hit them with that coffee; they'll pass right out. That's the best.
Is that a guarantee, though? I always thought that was
scary.
It could work, but maybe not. That's why I'm like, I don't know if that's worth rolling the dice.
I've always said that people should skip all of the complicated diagnosis for that condition, Ran, and just go straight to the source. Serve a room full of kids triple chocolate cake and see who calms down. Everyone else will go nuts. Then give that same room of kids lemonade and see who becomes an axe murderer. That's your ADHD kid. That's the way it works. My man,
Dang.
Admiral Wackass, has been rolling with me since the beginning. I have to say to you, my friend, I salute you, Admiral. We love you.
Do you remember who your first chat person was?
Jeez. I'm sure they might remember, but I don't. I remember. Wow, that's crazy, because I don't know if I had anybody watching me for so long. I don't know if I could remember who the first person was. I could go back and watch streams, but I actually didn't even live stream for a while. So, yeah, I mean, I can find who my first person was, but just by going back and looking at the chats. But
I always tell
guys,
this story,
man,
but John actually was my first person in the chat.
Yep.
John was the... my favorite story is that his first line in the chat was, "What is this?"
Yeah.
So comforting.
It's wonderful. And Timothy Fitzgerald, you're right. My issues with it are more issues I have comparing it to Kurosawa films. I would have liked to have seen some of the stylistic acting choices at the time. But I think the most important thing a movie can do is connect with the audience of its time. It clearly did that. Far be it from me, to say anything against it. And yeah, that was so great. And Admiral Wackass in the House is celebrating 20 months of membership. Bow. Wow. And for that, Admiral, let me tell you something. You are going to get yourself a cheerleader, man, because it has to be done. It is a moral imperative. Charge! Yeah, these guys, oh, hang on. Where is it? Where did you go, man? I lost you. Hang on a second. I don't know what I did there. I can hear you, but there you go.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what I just did. But anyway.
Not necessary to...
It's necessary for me. I mean, it feels wrong. Spiritually, ecumenically. I don't know. My first chatter was called King Ban. That is hilarious. See? That's the thing. Yeah.
Read his second message. Michael
the second was my wife who wrote, "You're never gonna make it."
That's so good.
Mike is, yeah. No, well, listen, Mike. First of all, I know that's not true because I know Mel wouldn't let that happen. But we did the worst, best thing you can do. Mike and I were on a stream at one point, and we watched our first lives together. They were diabolically bad. Dude, you don't know.
All the way, all the way through?
Set up. No. We did not make it all the way through, okay? It was nightmare fuel. No, it's true, says Mike. She actually wrote that. All right, dang. I love Mel. That's the way it is. Yeah, my wife is one of the like, I don't understand my wife. I tried to explain my family to people. And this is how I explain it. Imagine the Brady Bunch, right? Like that level of family sitcom cuteness. And then Anton Sugar from No Country for Old Men walks in, and he's playing the dad. Okay, that is how I feel. So my wife is like one of those freaking people who will come in, and she'll like, oh, God. She's like going, "That's so great." And I'm like, no, it's not. What's wrong? Like, she's like, "You're being too hard on yourself." And I'm like, what? Like, oh, dude, it's culturally difficult, man. It's culturally difficult, you know? But she likes the dad parenting style, that's for sure. I mean, I remember my son was old enough to be a little bit unruly. I said to him, "Boy, I just want you to know one important thing. If you ever call your mother or your sister the B word, it will be the first word of your eulogy." It happens, man. It happens. Yeah, Mel is the best, man. Mel is great, and she's such a supporter of the work I do and traditional media. And I always love her comments. And you know what's funny? You get culturally difficult is a gem. Yeah, it is. And Admiral says Mel did say that, but it was while she was mowing the lawn, and Bancroft just yelled back, "She needs to put her back into it." Yeah, like you've got a certain amount of time on this planet as an artist, and particularly working in traditional media. You got a certain amount of paintings in you. And when I think about the ones that I go, I want to make time for this. Like when Mike said to me, I want you to do a Lucent painting, I was racking my brain for how to do a Lucent painting. Like, I wanted it to just be, lyrical and complicated and speak to my friendship and my knowledge of him, and sort of playing around with, the playing card aesthetic and all of that kind of stuff. And it's the same thing, whether I was doing the piece for Razor Fist or doing the piece for Eric Weathers. I mean, these are large paintings. They are commitments of a lot of time, most of that time is figuring out, what the vibe of the painting is going to be. And this is very much the Pale Rider influence that Razor Fist was going for with this. And but let me just, to be honest, it is. It's the Lucent is absolutely musical to me. And the thing I would say about it is I name all of my paintings I do for, musical works or after, inspired by. And so his was called the Cloudburst Cantata was the name I gave that one, I believe. And then Eric Weathers.
I thought you named it Thriller.
I did name it Thriller. No, here's the thing. But when I was like painting these horses, and I was looking at all these incredible folks and everything like that. What's up, comrade Sammy? Great to see you. Paulus Arts channel member. It is great to see you, my friend. So and I'm working on that, and it's the same thing with Eric's piece for Battle Brick Road 2, which is really coming along now. But I needed an influence, and it was us talking about NC Wyeth that made me realize that when in this whirlwind of action that's happening in this painting, right? The thing I wanted to add, I'm doing all this stuff, and I'm like, what do I need to add to make this work? Was the Battle Brick Road. And I did this Wyeth depth of field. Do you see that? It's like an aerial shot. And I was like, that's it. That's the answer. So I did all of this stuff.
Crazy.
Dude, listen, man. Yes, I do have a 3 Blu-ray disc set called HD Trains. I'm not saying I'm on the spectrum. I'm not saying I'm not. Okay? But I wanted to have it write Oz with these metal sort of tentacle cables. So that was like another thing. So there's just all of these crazy ass layers that go into this stuff, right, when I'm doing it, because it's important. Like, these things are going to be things that I keep around for a while. Hopefully I'm not going to knock too much over. I just did a little bit. Sorry if that was too loud, guys, but hang on one second. I got to grab this because can I find it? Hold on.
It's like one of my streams.
Well, I think your streams are a little bit more professional than mine. But
no,
here's the thing.
My
right?
camera literally tipped all the way over. It was bad.
There we go. Oh, just knocked over a bunch of stuff, man. All right. That's all right. A lot of stuff is going to fall on this stream. So the thing is, I think I hit the camera there. When I say I have a 4-disc, set of HD Trains, now I want to be really clear about this. It includes Steam Giants, Winter Steam in the Rockies, Steam Ghosts, as well as Cavalcade of Steam. I have problems. That's all I'm trying to say. There's things you gotta work through, and those are mine. As Adam Hughes would say, that's my bear to cross. Oh man, but yeah, I love that stuff. Did I get something signed for you from Adam Hughes when I was going to Gaijin?
It was the he did a cover image for Voodoo, the Wildstorm.
Oh
book
dear,
Voodoo.
I remember. Yeah, it was the least. Sorry, it was what came out that week.
And his quote was "Bother the weak." You remember that?
Yeah. Adam.
Yeah, that was a beautiful cover.
Adam is another one of those folks that you see him work, and he's influenced by Muka too, man. Mm-hmm. You can watch him draw, you will learn nothing. I mean, not because he doesn't teach, but because mastery is mastery. That dude is a beast. Yes, that's right, Peter Watts. It totally is, yeah. You need to teach it who's the boss. That's right, the bear, 100%. Yeah, no, Sean, punch the mic twice as much. Yeah, well, I'm working on it, you know. With me, it'll be a swing and a miss. But I've been waiting for this space. Art Thibert said something that was really touching, considering, you know, art's history in comics, and I would agree with him. He said, I've been waiting for Comicsgate in this space my entire life, my entire career. And sending him that trailer, because, you know, I mean, you know this. You probably have family in Texas. Houston got wrecked. I mean, wrecked. Do you have family in Texas? I don't know if you
I do. Not in Houston.
They got blasted.
I don't think they got. They're more inland where they are, and I don't think they got hit by the storms. But they definitely had some crazy weather.
Yeah, it was rough, and so, you know, when you're doing a book and you're trying to promote it as art is, and thank you, Eric Huffles, for dropping the link in the chat. Art had a good morning stream today. Yeah, he did, absolutely. You know, but you're trying to promote your book, and then you lose power, or the Wi-Fi goes down, and you can't stream, and you want to get as many eyes on it as possible. And I watched that morning stream. I was absolutely there, Admiral. And I said, you know what I'm gonna do is as soon as I go to the post office and mail off these books, I'm gonna come home and I'm gonna cut a trailer for him. And so that's where that trailer for that came from. I did that this morning. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, I used text to speech to get a voice, because I did a voiceover first to get the rhythm right, and then I just used a text to speech thing and then edited it and adjusted it so that it would sound natural-ish. You know, it's not great, but it's it's intelligible, which is always good. God, I can't imagine doing a stream where I'm not painting at the same time, man. It makes me nervous.
Really?
Like, it's just weird to me. I never thought it was a thing, you know? Yep, broke 10K today, that's right. Yeah, he was talking about this morning on the stream, and when I saw that, put a huge smile on my face. And you know what's weird? I don't know if you've seen the book, Rock? It's,
No.
It's, the book, so the link is in the description, but for anybody who hasn't backed it, it's a collection of his sketches, some projects he's launched, some amazingly cool pinups, and it's absolutely worth a look. Shanth Enjeti art, rank Predator versus Alien versus Terminator franchise-wise. Oh my god. That's tough.
Wait,
because I don't... Timothy Fitzgerald
Timothy
is.
Fitzgerald.
Yeah. That's a tough one, man.
That is a tough one.
Let's just do this. Here's how we have to do this. For all of those franchises, we have to only compare the first two movies. Because the movies that came after, to me, are ridiculous.
Was there more than two Predators? Oh, yeah, there was.
Yes.
I know they did the recent one.
They did the recent one, and
for
then
me,
I
would go. I think I would go Terminator, Alien, Predator. 1, 2, 3. I think. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. That is. I got to be honest with you. It's tough.
Or Alien,
because there's
Terminator,
taste,
Predator.
and then there's if you were telling somebody quality. Because I do think Terminator is battling it out. I would say Alien changed the game so much.
It's
you know,
true.
Alien was a real kind of indie game changer for me. Yeah. So I would say Alien. Like for taste for me, because it's all about what I'd like to draw. And if I was ranking, it would be Alien, Predator, then Terminator. If it's in terms of movie quality, it's Alien, Terminator, then Predator. But I love Predator 2 is sort of a great movie that hasn't gotten as much praise as I think it deserves. I think Ruben Blades, Danny Glover, Maria Conchita Alonso in that, Gary Busey, and the late Bill Paxton. I hate saying the late Bill Paxton. That dude should still be with us. That malpractice was ridiculous, man. Heartbreaking. Yeah. Love Bill Paxton so much.
Yeah, he's great.
Bill Paxton was in all 3 of those franchises.
That's true.
God bless that man.
He peed his pants in the Terminator, right?
No, he got stabbed. He got crushed in the Terminator because he was the 3 gang members. That was in True Lies. He peed his pants, which was fantastic.
Oh, True Lies. That's what I got.
But imagine Predator 2 or Aliens without Bill Paxton. I ask you, what have you got?
Yeah, you can't do Aliens without Bill Paxton.
You cannot do Aliens. I know that was awful to hear too, by the way. Yeah, lots of folks. Yeah. Best film, Terminator. Best sequel, Aliens. Very good, strong point there.
I loved Aliens.
Timothy Fitzgerald. Yeah, Aliens is ridiculously good.
Really good.
Best hero, Arnold and Predator. Best franchise, Alien. Those are all, I can't argue with that. Those are sound. For me, the funniest thing they talk about
Terminator
movie
2
quotes,
was so good, though. I love Terminator 2.
Yeah, it was good. Visually
So
beautiful.
good.
Mike likes tacos is right. And all that, and then done in by Western medicine. I know it's painful, and I agreed. I do like tacos as well. Yeah, it's Mike likes tacos is a legend in here, man. But here's the thing for me, right? Is that when I look at some of those flicks and some of the things that they were able to accomplish in them, that's what gives me hope for where we're going. In terms of forward, because those were films that nobody knew what these things were going to be. Stan Winston redesigning the Predator mask.
Yeah, there was no template,
what I mean?
Right?
There's no template. The Alien.
Yeah.
Without the Dune movie failing,
that design
Alien doesn't happen.
That design is second to none. That Alien is amazing.
But yeah, so I always heard this line wrong, even though you can hear it clear as day when you rewatch it from Aliens. I always thought that Hicks was saying in their first encounter with the aliens, Marines, we are leaving. I was convinced he said, Marines, we are leaving. And he's not. And I'm like going, and I Googled it, and someone goes, one of the most misquoted lines in Aliens. He clearly says, Drake, we are leaving. And for some reason, I don't know why, I always heard it wrong. It's crazy.
Weird.
Man. Yeah.
But it's weird that it's not just you.
Yeah, I'm shocked it was more than one person.
Yeah.
Hey, Katie, how are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, Terminator is a problem for me as a franchise unless they ever explained why they didn't send a robot farther back in time. I would agree with that. I do think that story-wise, Terminator 1 is a perfect movie. Terminator, all of those movies, if you stopped at the first one, they're perfect anyway. You didn't need the sequels. So if the sequels work, then it's great. What's up, Coleman? How are you doing? Lance Hendrickson, yes, also technically killed in the 3 franchise. Is really... Oh, that's right. Shoot. Dang.
Wait, who was he in Terminator?
I'm trying to think of... he was the police chief or not police chief. He was the second in command at the police station that Terminator shoots up in Terminator 1. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You have to, you watch those movies and you were seeing some young actors like Michael Biehn and all of them. They're crushing it. But yeah, Lance was in the police station. And the actor who's from Star Trek and everything, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name, he's like it's awful. He's great. But he's the sensitive, fatherly police officer who's trying to tell Sarah everything's okay. Sorry, this crazy person is coming after you. And then he gets, of course, taken out. And it's like one of the heartbreaking moments, man. Yeah. For some reason, Shanth computed it. You guys are killing me, man. Oh, man. Yeah, they should have done a sequel in the Wild West or something where the robot goes after Sarah's ancestors. That would be crazy, man. Jerry Burtz is saying hello. Everybody's saying hello. Carmen Sammy John, of course. Hey, Jeremy. Maybe they dubbed it as Marines, we are leaving. That could be it.
My thing froze.
Yeah. There was a cool comic about humans in Skynet. God, I'm so far behind in the chat. Oh my God.
Is it still going on YouTube?
Oh, did it crash? Hope not, but we'll see in a minute. I don't know. I feel like we're still going.
Crashed, but I still see you on YouTube.
Okay, that's weird. So, can they not hear you is the question. Can you guys hear Rocky all right? Is that all right or no? Let me see. Sean's been watching Rocky streams too much. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, still here. Okay, cool. Yeah, I can hear both of you, they say. So maybe it's just a glitch in the Matrix over there. But you're apparently still hearable.
Weird.
Yeah, don't know. I
Just
mean,
my
it could be
Ecamm thing.
yeah,
Wait.
I don't know.
Let me refresh the window. If I accidentally hang up, I'll call back in. Hang on a second.
All right, brother. Yeah, I mean, it's he's in. You guys know him. He's the guy in Wrath of Khan, who can't shoot Kirk when he's got the worm in his or the whatever you call. Oh, there he is. All right, hold on a second. Let me add him back in here. There he is. All right, you're back, brother. You're auto assigned in here now. So, but what was let me see if I can find it here. Oops, I'm in the wrong thing here. There we go. Let me do Wrath of Khan. What is his name? He did a lot of classic theater work and well, everybody did back then. That's why they were such good actors. They were a lot of. I don't know if where he was out of, but let me see. Why is he not? Where the hell is he? Oh, there is Paul Winfield. Yes, if you don't know Paul Winfield's work, tremendous actor, tremendous talent. And he of course played the very sympathetic. I don't know if he was a chief or a detective or what his ranking was, but I know Lance Henriksen was sort of his right-hand man. And he risks life and limb to try to protect Sarah Connor, and it's and he puts his, I do believe at some point she's laying down on a sofa and he puts his jacket over her because she's cold and she's just been through hell. And it was just a little, knowing they're on the brink of this sort of apocalypse in that movie, it was a little bit of last humanity before she's truly on her own. You know, it's great stuff. Love those movies. Can't say enough good things about those flicks.
Yeah, those three are good. I mean, those kind of franchises, they don't come along that often anymore.
Yep. Oh, yeah, very cool. Yeah, if it was a human time traveler went through with a weapon sewn under skin. Yeah, I actually wondered about that as well when they talked about that. That'd be rough. That would be rough, especially if you went back to the 80s and you had to get it out, because they probably have some way of getting it in that's easier, but you never know, because they were pretty post-apocalyptic in that stuff. So how
one of the unboxing streams I had recently was that RoboCop versus Terminator that Simonson and Frank Miller would. Oh, so good. It's really
Don't get
good.
me started on RoboCop, man. I love RoboCop. Okay.
RoboCop is really good.
You met my beloved late father-in-law, Lewis, who I miss him.
Did he like RoboCop?
It's worse than that. RoboCop was filmed in Dallas for the architecture.
Oh.
So it did, and he was working in the ER where they shot the scene with Murphy, and he declined being in that scene.
No.
And I was like, what the F is wrong with you? And he's like, do you want to marry my daughter? I was like, I love you. That's how it went. However,
did he regret it?
No, he's like, oh, I almost was in that. And I was like,
oh man.
I was like, what? Oh man. Yeah, so, but it does have a somewhat positive turn recently, if I can do this without knocking all this stuff over. Gosh, what do I even have in here? Oh, here it is. So, because my in-laws are relatively awesome, to put it mildly, rest in peace, Lewis. You are missed every single day. God, I have so much junk here. It's ridiculous. My mother-in-law, Miss Becky herself, said to me, she's like, I made friends with somebody who's also an artist, does artwork and sculptural stuff, and I think you'd be excited to know who she is. And I said, who is she? And she goes, she's the actress who played RoboCop's wife in RoboCop.
Oh, God.
And I said, looked at, you know Mrs. RoboCop? And she bust out laughing. And so they went out to lunch, and she brought this with her.
How did she meet her?
And signed
it. Oh, my gosh.
To Shanth from Mrs. RoboCop.
Wow.
So, yeah,
How did she meet her?
Dude, God is good all the time. That's what I will say.
That's
Can you
amazing.
imagine? Yeah, man. But dude, our adventures are so ridiculous. Do you remember after my kids were born and you guys like basically fed me and let me sleep for the first time in months, and then took me to Skywalker Ranch?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
we
man,
hung
that
out
was
with Stu
awesome.
all day, walking around Skywalker Ranch. And what was it? Was it 2005? It would have been. So right when the prequel trilogy ended, my kids were born. So 2006, maybe? I think it was.
Yeah, 2006.
Those were, we went to the Lucas store, got Skywalker Ranch t-shirts for my kids. I have a video of them wearing them when they were like tiny.
Mm.
Yeah, it's cool stuff, man. It's cool stuff. We've had some fun adventures, dude, but that's what it's like. And I think the adventures we're having now, looking back on 30 years of hanging out and doing this crazy stuff together, it's like, look at it. It's
crazy.
like we're still doing this stuff. We're still crazy enough. I don't know what's wrong with us.
I
don't know.
You could take those same exact words and they could have a different meaning. We're
we
doing
haven't
this
grown
stuff.
or matured at all. We're Arrested Development. It's awesome. We're staring down the barrel of 50 and we've learned nothing.
I know. We're still hitting our heads against the same brick wall.
That's right. We're like Chevy Chase stepping on those boards in Christmas Vacation. Whack! Just turn around, whack!
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Oh, dude, those scores for RoboCop and Conan are incredible, and I love that first Conan movie is incredible.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The work in there was amazing. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, the intonation makes all the difference. Yep. But are you having fun? That's right, we are having fun. When Sean's kids were born, his wife said, 3 children now. That's right.
Dang.
She did. No, she totally did. She totally did. But it was, and she's like, they can't drink Crazy Horse. And I was like, let me be. No, they didn't drink Crazy Horse because they didn't make it anymore. But yeah. Oh my God. But it's been... Oh, by the way, yeah, I don't play video games because I can't draw while I play a video game. And so because I want to draw and paint all the time, I can't play video games. I have to watch movies or things like that. But I watch people play video games. So I watched Razor Fist play RoboCop Rogue City, and my mind was blown by how cool it was. It was like being in a movie. It was unbelievable.
They based it off of the original RoboCop, right? Not the new.
Yep,
the new.
They
revamp.
did.
Oh,
I even
awesome.
think that they used his voice. Like he either voiced it, if I'm not mistaken.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think they got him to come back, Peter Weller to come back, or they didn't AI with his permission. I'm not sure. Yeah, but Seanth was still crazy. That's true. And by the way, guys, please check out Art T Bear's. Here's Mary Blair's Google Doodle. Oh, excellent. Yes, so the Mary Blair Google Doodle
Eric
done
Huffles.
by one of my students. Yeah, thank you, Eric Huffles. That's great. And do check out Oodles of Doodles as well by Art T Bear. 100%. Yeah, so one of my kids did that. So she did that Google Doodle. And so while people might wonder or think sometimes that, like, can we really push culture? Can we really change things? I always point to people like Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, people like Dave Stevens, people like John Carpenter. You know what I mean? People like Wes Craven. You know, these artists come along every now and again, and they just, when everybody is doing the thing that we're sick of seeing, they try something new. And you guys are here, and you're a part of something new. When you back these books, when you watch these streams, all of the stuff you guys do to support us, what pays for brushes, you guys are our armor and shield. Like, that's how it works. And so I always think to, paraphrase, of course, Lawrence of Arabia, the greatest movie ever made. Big things have small beginnings, and that's really what it is. It's like you just, Dave Stevens does rule. So many copies of his books, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Gosh, yeah. I have incredible memories of Shadowrun on Genesis. That's so funny. I played the tabletop version of that, Admiral. God, man, it's crazy how much we have in common, man, when we like hang out together like this. Recommend watching Soma playthrough. I will. I watch playthroughs to learn about the industry. What's up, Wishmaster? Great to see you. Yeah, and there, of course, is Oodles of Doodles by Art T Bear, guys. Back Art T Bear. The man, the myth, the legend. Yeah. There's just, ever seen Screamers is good. Yeah. I know. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's another cool movie that came out, by the way. 10 years ago, I said Deus Ex Human Revolution is the closest we will ever get to a RoboCop game. Then we got an excellent RoboCop game, and yes, Weller and a couple of other actors did voice work. That is awesome.
Cool.
Nancy Allen was great in that. The actor, I always blank on his name, another tricky name, Clarence Boddicker, who played him, the dad in that 70s show, crushed it.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Brian Cox who played Dick Jones? I think it was. I hope I'm getting his name right. But he was fantastic in that as well. Yeah, he was great. It's wild, man. It's wild. Yeah. Everyone thinks I'm 10 years older than I am because my brother showed me all the cool stuff. That's how it works. I'm the same way. Sometimes people look at me and think I'm younger than I am, which cracks me up.
Ronnie Cox. Ronnie Cox, not
Ronnie
Brian.
Cox. That's right. Is Brian Cox is the guy from Troy or something? There's another actor. I can't remember. Yeah, Ronnie Cox. Yes, from Beverly Hills Cop. All of those great stuff. What's up, Coleman?
Brian Cox. Oh, Brian Cox is the main guy in Succession.
Yes, that's who it was. Yes.
Yeah.
Can you
like
fly, Bobby? Actor. Yeah, great line, Coleman. Yeah. And you know, a lot of people don't know this, but the RoboCop suit and all of the kind of gore effects of that movie were the brainchild of one of the great artists of special effects who retired and went totally recluse, Rob Bottin. So Rob Bottin did The Thing special effects with Carpenter. He did The Howling. He did all of these incredible movies. A true genius. And the most iconic, probably, robot armor in history is the RoboCop armor.
I love that design.
Cyborg. It's outstanding.
I can't remember if it was like a Time magazine or something when that movie came out. And as a kid, what's up, Unhinged? As a kid, I remember just staring at that and like just being blown away by that design.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I saw, like, back when Starlog magazine was coming out, and these were, like, real nerd magazines at the time. Like, they weren't wildly corporate or anything like that. They had a section where they brought in artists to, said to artists, send in your ideas for different robo things that could exist in this world. And they had, like, the RoboCop or Robo Fireman, and it was almost like what they did in RoboCop 2 before they did that. Because people were so inspired. They just wanted to imagine everything in that world. Yep, Brian Cox from Super Troopers fame. Amen, man. Yeah. The Thing is a very, very, very good movie, and we owe so much to, of course, Kurt Russell, but nobody can chew up scenery like Keith David. Nobody. Like Keith David, if he walks into a set and I remember seeing Keith David in, everything, but I remember him being in Men at Work and going, this dude, if he's in a scene, you can't look away from him. He's got such an awesome voice. Just a powerhouse actor, and of course in They Live as well. So yeah, it's great. Great stuff. Yeah. I mean, just Keith David. Yeah. Keith David is one of my favorites. Yeah. Forever. We have 100%. Yeah. I mean, we quoted Keith David in almost everything we did. Of course, from Men at Work, there are a few sacred things in this world. One of them happened to be another man's fries. You remember that? You live a long and happy life. It's such a good line, man. So good. Yep. Oh, yeah. Brian Cox was a character actor who vaulted to old man stardom after being William Wallace's cool uncle. Then he was Stryker in X2. Yes.
Oh, he was in X2.
He's the dude, and he's in the Bourne franchise as well. The first two movies. And what I loved about Brian, he was in Troy. That guy also is a chewer of scenery. He had that great moment in Braveheart. He rides up and he's like, I'm your uncle, Argyle. And then he grabs the kid's face and goes, you have the look of your mother. And then he has that line where he says, he's like, tomorrow you'll come with me. He goes, I don't want to leave. And he's like, you didn't want your father to die either, but it happened. And I went, holy shit. That dude
I gotta rewatch
is...
Braveheart. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Has to ask David. Yeah, man. Yeah, women have some kind of superpowers to take our fries like that. Dude, one of the first arguments we ever had, and Lauren gets so pissed about this, is that we were in the cafeteria at college, dude, and I was having fries, and I was really hungry, and she reached over to take one of my fries, like, hey, those are mine. She still gives me grief about it, man. It's like 30 years ago, you know? So now I take her fries.
That's right.
No, it's, you know, yeah. Brian Cox was the villain in Bourne 1 and 2, yeah, and he's so good at delivering lines. He's like, what is it, you know, you're up to your, you know, something, or you're waist deep in shit and you don't have the shoes for it, Pam. Like, he's got some great lines. Or you talk about this stuff like you read it in a book. God, he's good. Yeah, he's an amazing... Yeah, there are some actors who just have that power, you know, that sense about them. And Keith David can do everything. He can do comedy. He can do, you know, drama. He can do science fiction, fantasy. You know, the Thing. I mean, how do you even define that flick? It's such a mind-bending flick. I mean, just incredible. You know, what I love about, this is the thing I think about when I sit down to paint, and I think about when I'm making Nosfero in comics is, and it's just something I strive for, is you see people say sometimes that, you know, with movies like The Thing, the way that people would talk about it is go, have you seen that? Did you see what they did in that? Like, it's something really cool that you've got to check out. Like American Werewolf in London. The transformation sequence. It's like, you will not understand what you're seeing. It's that good. You've never seen an idea like this executed this well. And I still watch that scene knowing how it was done, and I go, that's perfect. That's a perfect scene. So good. Yeah, I think so. It's really good. I do like Big Trouble in Little China. I watched that movie till the wheels fell off that VHS. I have the Shout Factory release of it. And every single person in our family was, we all like loved the characters in that. Like, we loved Wang, we loved what's his name, Jack Burton in that was awesome. When he goes,
Wang.
We love Wang. You know, love is love. It's 2024. No, but I always loved the part when he did a Southern accent. That actor, he goes, I'm just a poor old Chinese boy. And I went, that's the weirdest way of saying that I could have thought of. But it was so great, man. It's always a great watch. Like when he finally, I forget if it was it Thunder or was it Wind, I think. I can't remember. Who he has the sword fight with at the end, which is just they're jumping and like fighting his
Yeah. I think it was
awesome.
Wind.
Yeah, Wind.
Yeah, that's
so
another
awesome.
movie that like
dude.
you can't really categorize that movie. It's so original.
Because that's what we're supposed to be doing in indie comics, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, this drives me crazy. I'm like, can I see Marvel and DC do it, or would I see them put those combinations together? If the answer is no, it's what we should be doing. Yeah, The Dude, you are absolutely right. It is one of the most quotable films ever. Gosh, Eddie was fantastic in that. But it's like when Eddie says, God, what is it? He goes, he's like, and anybody who showed up was going to join Lem Lee in the hell of being cut to pieces. The hell of being what? Chinese have a lot of hell. Lem Lee was a reference to the founder of Universal Studios, Carl Laemmle, the Jewish immigrant who came over, was like, you know, I guess he started with movie theaters, and then he gave us the Universal monsters. So that was Carpenter honoring him, and then he further honored Universal and Carl Laemmle when he had the Wing Kong exchange in the font of King Kong. I mean, it was just the love of movies. That's what's so great about it, man. Yeah, I categorize Big Trouble in Little China under 80s as a genre. Agreed. You know? I quoted that movie today on stream. because John's sister, God bless her, has been having a really tough time, which he's talked about, so I'm not telling tales out of school. And I said, whenever I'm glad she's on the mend, but when I hear about her, I feel like Egg Chen in the start of Big Trouble in Little China, where it's like, oh God, will you leave her alone? Like, medical establishment, please, and God watch over John's sister. She's a hell of a trooper, and I'm glad to hear she's on the mend. But yeah, man, I Escape from New York. Snake Plissken is a badass.
I just watched that recently.
Yes. Yeah, John. She's doing better, but talk about medical, like when he tells the story, like I made my wife watch him telling the story because she's familiar with that procedure, and she was just like, this sounds like something out of a horror movie. And I said, yeah, it is. Escape from LA is I think you're right on that. Yeah. Prayers for Malin's sister. Absolutely right, John. Yeah. And I felt I was really happy when he said last time he saw her video wise that she was looking good and her color looked good, because that's just something when you're family, right? I say that to my wife sometimes, like, and it's a weird sort of thing, but I'll just go, no, you don't look well. Like, I don't know if like that's a thing that people say outside of the South, because we both grew. I mean, maybe they do. But in the South, they'll always say that to you. They'll say things like you're not your normal color. Like, you don't look good. You look.
It's because we weren't white, Shanth.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. No, but see, then there's those. But there were those girls in high school who were like, "You're not the normal color." It's like, look, I don't want to get killed by your dad, so you need to back off, okay? I'm not your rebellion, honey.
Oh man.
Apologies to the chat and to my long-suffering wife, but she knows it's true. Yeah, but it's you look at it's like when you're a parent, especially, you look at your kids and you're like, you're sick, like you don't look well. They like wobble at you, funny, and it's just like, yeah, you're really tan. That's right. We tried that one, but it's like, yeah, my kids, like, I would look at my daughter and I'd go, you're not doing well today, and like, hand to head. So it's. You worry about when you've got people in the hospital who are just trying to mend, and you're so dependent on the doctors knowing what they're doing. It's it can be real stressful. But yeah, man. So Rock, what have you got coming up on your channel? I want you to share what's going on, man.
Oh goodness. Well, I do a. That's weird.
I'm like going through every screen there. What have you got going on?
I just have I have a weekly show. That I call my Wednesday Comics Live now. And that's just every Wednesday I hit the comic book store and I come back and share what I found or what I picked up. And that's always fun, kind of doing that live. And just, it always leads into conversations of like, oh yeah, and remember when this artist did this and this, and I'll disappear, go to my bookshelf and pull out stuff. And it just reminds me of like, when I would go to comic book stores with friends, and it's not just about the one book you pick up. It's always about like the conversation. And then I'm trying to get
take it on the road too, right? Like you've got a library of, you went to the Dave Stevens exhibition, you hit the comic book shops of Paris, and then all the local shops, right?
Yeah. The local shops in San Francisco. And now I'm kind of expanding out more into the wider Bay Area. So I was in Central California last weekend or 2 weekends ago, but there's a lot of great shops outside of San Francisco too in the East Bay. So it's been cool. I mean, I feel really fortunate that I have a lot of comic book shops nearby, and each one is different. Each one has its own kind of unique flavor, which I was going to ask you that, the comic book video that you did for your local shop. Is that's not the one that was on that we went to in college, right? Is that one gone?
No, that one's gone. That's been gone for ages.
That was the one where we would like walk up those steps into it, right? Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, there's no. All of those kinds of small businesses aren't there, and the one that we have in downtown Bristol, I wanted to get some eyes on, because
so that's in Bristol.
Yeah, that's in downtown Bristol, man, and it's cool. Like, he was really excited about that, because one of the things that we're dealing with, is that, and people don't, it's hard to explain to folks that even if you're an artist, YouTubing or doing YouTube stuff or videos is very daunting. Like if you're not used to it, if you're not native to it, like we're not. And comic book shops are not used to things like, oh, we can like do stuff on YouTube, like video, like it, just because you're passionate and encyclopedic about comics doesn't mean you understand video production at all. You know what I mean? Or all of these things. Yeah. So I just think it's a really cool thing that you do on your channel to promote these comic shops. And seeing you do it made me go, you know, that would probably be really good. If somebody Googles a shop, you don't know what it looks like on the inside. His stuff is all back issues and then really cool fun stuff like records and old magazines and things like that. So for a certain demographic that's, as you see in Comicsgate, very well represented on YouTube, that's who he needs to reach. You know?
And I feel I just love how every shop is so different, and they have different strengths, and they have different feel, and it all has to do with not just the building, but like how they organize things and how accessible things are and how conversational they are. And so as much as I can help promote that, and I like to connect, like because we have several stores in the city, I like to connect them and try and keep in contact with all of them. So I usually go to a different store every week, which is really fortunate that I'm able to do that. Yeah. Because I remember growing up, I didn't have any comic book stores near me. So this is kind of like, you know, a dream come true to be in a town that does. But it's a tough thing to have a store, but that's so much of the comic book culture, you know, is walking into a store and having conversations about stuff that you love and people going, hey, have you checked this out? Or you should look at this. So I think just expanding that to, or connecting that to what YouTube does best is something that I really love doing for those shops. So it's been fun. Well, it's been really fun.
It's so great that you do it, man. And that's the thing I look forward to the most when we talk about this kind of stuff. And so, guys, we're going to wrap up now. Stick around. I'll talk to you after a little bit and just say hey. But, guys, thank you so much for being here. As I always like to say, this is coming to you live from the heart of Lovecraft Country in the birthplace of American religious liberty. My name is SHANTH ENJETI. You're watching SHANTH ENJETI Art. You know, as I love to say, speak easy, stay gold, keep the faith, and peace be with you. And I've been working on this. I can't really do it yet. So I think it's that... Wait, or is it that? And
whoa, what?
I'm trying to learn how to do. Oh, sorry, it's this.
Is this a TikTok? Is it a TikTok dance?
Oh, I wish. This, then it's this, and that. I think it is. So that's peace be with you, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm working on hand.
Like what? Sign language?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm still Asian, dude. Got to learn new shit every day. You know. There's going to be a hand on the back of my head if I'm not careful. All right, guys. Take care, everybody. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Much love to all of you who have stuck it out with us. You guys are awesome. And we will see you guys very, very soon. Yeah, absolutely, guys. We'll see you guys in all these chats. Auf Wiedersehen. Vielen Dank. Yes, Eric Huffles. Take care, my friends. I will see you guys very, very soon. Good night, Jeremy Burtz. It is great to see you, my friend. And take care, everybody. And we will see you very, very soon. And I'm going to kick you out and then bring you back in. Sound good? Take care, brother.
Oh, me? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, I'll see you in a sec.